I don't get it. Can you explain the joke to me? She doesn't sound like that.
So that's what one white woman, of course. Then we can move on to
Who?
another white woman.
All the comments are people calling you out. Have you read any of them? The fact that you thought of this idea, got dressed up, recorded it, edited, watched it, and was like, "Yeah, that's it."
Hello, my name is Olivia Chow, and I am your new mayor of Toronto.
This is like the most overused and unoriginal skit that there is. And it's
Why is this woman whispering? Is she a teenager in her house making content? The problem with this argument, Eric, is going to be that we have to, for time's sake, blow past the entire idea that these are adult women who spend their time on TikTok and then make videos about what they're offended by. We have to blow past that, or else we're going to run out of time.
Hello, it's me, Olivia Chow.
Okay, well, can I just say, first of all, it was the very first girl who said exactly the same thing that I'm saying about Bobby
Hello.
Althoff, right? Like, somebody explain to me why this is funny. Now, as much as we want to make sure that Ben is a friend of the show, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I've been following his content incredibly close. So it is funny for some people. It's not funny for others. Obviously, the white women are going to bat here because they love to be offended on somebody else's behalf more so than anybody else on the planet, right? They are going to come to the defense of everybody, right? Because they get this white woman savior syndrome or whatever it is. But it's very clear that has a bit, right? And he's got a wig and the chest hair and all that stuff. And we'll get to Bobby soon enough, but her whole thing is just like this incredibly dry. It's like the joke is that it's not a joke, right? And maybe we'll be able to connect these two eventually. It's like my whole shtick is that I don't have a joke, and it's just one giant boob and one small. Anyways, yeah. So maybe this isn't for everybody. That's totally fine. And you'll notice how we can be on here talking about this, but I haven't taken a TikTok or Instagram to make a video solely bashing Bobby Althoff, although maybe I should, so we can gain some clout of our own. Different story. But it definitely says something about why they have to take time out of their day to make sure that everybody hears their virtue signal about why Ben Bankas is racist.
Well, what I don't get is the people who dedicate their 15, 20, 30 minutes, YouTubers that do this thing where they're doing a full takedown. This person sucks, but I'm going to spend like the next 3 hours for the next 5 days making a video and editing about these people. Whereas these are clearly, I would wager that these women, their profession is not to be professional TikTokers. And then they're going out of their way, like you said, to be offended. And what we didn't see, which we'll see in this next video, is that they want to get him canceled. They want to get his venues canceled for comedy, which is absolutely insane. So 2 places did cancel him. But this isn't the first time that this happened. I've covered it multiple times, at least 2 other times where Ben's been canceled at venues because they said he was offensive. This happened to Danny Polishuk, who you might know from Ryan Long's videos. He was at the same venue Ben got canceled at. They canceled all these guys because it was too offensive. Dave Chappelle got canceled. They moved it across the street in Chicago. So this happens all the time when would-be comedy theaters cancel things based on jokes that their staff find offensive, which is ridiculous, of course, but it's their freedom to do this. Now, these people could just, change the channel, but they won't do that. They're going to call up ABC or whoever it is and say Roseanne offended me on Twitter, or they're going to call up Comedy Central and say South Park is offending me as well. And they think that they're doing the good thing. If you don't agree with me, I'm doing the good thing. And you're going to see this other guy who thinks he's really doing a great thing. Everything's racist against Asians.
Well, at least it's an Asian guy, right? At least I guess that's a step in the right direction.
But it's still comedy. And this guy, you're going to come out of this, I'm confident, Eric, you're going to come out of this the same as me, and you're going to say, wow, this guy's a loser. or other words that I won't say in the first third of the podcast yet. Wow, this guy's a loser.
Let's talk about this racist. This is Canada's most famously racist.
That's already 6 seconds. Let's talk about this.
Comedian Ben Bankas, who unironically likes to call out people for blackfacing while he essentially does the same.
Again, we're another 7 things. Unironically, he's making fun of the prime minister. That's not unironically. He's not saying, "I'm so offended by Justin Trudeau. Oh my goodness."
Same thing to Asian people while mocking a Chinese accent.
Hello, it is me, Olivia Chow. And I am very upset today.
And he's not just xenophobic, he's heavily anti-Asian, anti-people of color, and gee, I wonder what he could be saying about black people while making handguns.
All right, just for once, stop pretending. You're on the computer anyways. You always got your cell phone in your hand. So just take a quick moment, sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/uopod. You will not regret it. You're going to see us fly off the handle and say all the things that we can't say on YouTube, lest we be kicked off and shunned from society. So sign up to the Patreon. Appreciate it.
The black people can go bang bang.
For making this gesture, shall we take a look?
And maybe a little fentanyl for the homeless.
Or, literally dehumanizing Chinese people so that he can mock their accent.
I am the Chinese, half monkey, half human hybrid animal.
That's a coronavirus joke. If this guy doesn't get the context of this stupid face filter joke.
It was invented in a laboratory in Wuhan.
And while he most often uses his offensive accent to mimic Olivia Chow, he seems to most often go after Asian women. Typically that's a sign of such a courageous man. And Ben here actually tried to run...
Hold up. What I don't understand is why going after specifically Chinese women is sarcastically a courageous man. What about specifically Chinese women makes it a lower target in this guy's eyes? That's kind of a weird thing to say, Eric, that specifically Asian women is like more of a soft target. Not to mention, he's talking about two of the most powerful women in the entire country, the head of the health for the country and the mayor of the largest city.
Yeah, but this is what they do. This is exactly what they do, right? They're constantly full of the soft bigotry of low expectation, right? I mean, it always goes full circle, right? So you're so woke and unracist that you become racist all over again. It happens every single time. And I think this guy's doing Ben. I think this guy's doing Ben a solid. I haven't watched any of these clips, but they're actually pretty funny.
I mentioned Tony Hinchcliffe before. He's a product of being canceled and making him much more famous. And this is going to make Ben Bankas much more famous.
For mayor of Toronto against Olivia Chow, claiming that the whole thing was a joke campaign. But it's kind of pretty obvious that he actually took it pretty seriously.
I just want to let you guys know that I am actually running for mayor. I don't think you guys realize. It's like, I know it's a joke. I know I'm being hilarious. But I'm on the ballot, baby. And you can vote for Ben Bankas June 26th for mayor of Toronto. Who's voting?
And
Eric, this is like a Vice article where the person just discovers something and they write it from this position of authority where they know everything about it. Has he not seen the videos where Ben Bankas is doing his mayoral campaign video in a rainbow suit saying he wants to ban everyone who isn't trans from Toronto? Like that sort of thing. This is like, this guy discovers him, does like 3 minutes of research by watching his videos, and he's like, I know what's going on here. He's serious about it, and I'm taking him down because he's racist. You're just a loser, dude. Like, imagine this guy waking up in the morning and describing what he's doing. And to somebody else, he's going to say, I found this comedian who says that he's joking. He's a booked stand-up comedian who does jokes by doing a over-the-top, obviously stupid Chinese accent about women in the government. And then he ran for the mayor of Toronto. And I'm going to, and somebody might say, why are you doing this video? Because I believe it's racist, and I think he needs to be exposed, and I think people need to call the venues he's going to stop him from spreading hate speech. You'd be like, don't you have anything better to do with your day? Like, just don't watch it. Like, I don't understand how this guy can explain what he's doing, Eric, without saying that he's a really good person for doing what he's doing, and other people aren't if they're not doing that. Does that make sense?
Well, this guy, I mean, maybe, but you're great at giving these people the benefit of the doubt and taking what they're doing with some like under the guise that they are actually genuine, which of course they are not. This guy's just late to the party, right? He doesn't care. He doesn't know if this is right. And when he goes home at night, he's not worried about this. He just is late to the party and the idea that he can gain some sort of steam by playing the racism card, right? So he doesn't realize that it's all kind of collapsing, and he's just, I don't know, 6 months or maybe a year, maybe 18 months even, just too late, right? So he's trying to get his clout up. He's trying to get his social media going by claiming racism, but it's just a little bit too late, and he doesn't realize that it's all, which makes sense, because if you think about it, the mainstream media is always 6 months to a year behind. Like CNN's running articles last week about San Francisco being overrun with shoplifters. It's like, yeah, bro, you guys were robbed, right? Like, this is the CNN. Like, they're just late to the party. None of it's genuine. So kudos to you for constantly giving these people the benefit of the doubt and pretending that what they're saying is actually real, but none of it's real. It's just like Ben's thing is clearly he is a comedian. We all know that. This guy is trying to find his footing in something. He's not funny, so he can't do comedy. He probably has nothing valuable to say. He may or may not know anything about one thing. I mean, you could be a Hollywood commentator, or a sneakerhead, or you could be into cars. Like, he just doesn't have anything. So this is like the low-hanging fruit, and he doesn't realize it's all collapsing already. So that's what I think, obviously.
Makes these videos, and then you're right.
Can we go directly to his profile? Can we see what his...
I did go to his profile. It's like, what's it say there? Etch-a-sketch?
So maybe he is a comedian.
A TikToker. We're going to get this for you through the magic of the internet. Ed, 350, co-founder of You Cooks, co-host of What's in the Shabal, Asian Things. I mean...
Okay, so he can do Asian things, but nobody else can do Asian things. That's what it is.
Turn it up, Jordan.